Hello and welcome. Today we have a 2017 Kia Sorento with 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine mounted to a 6-speed automatic transmission with 122,000 miles on the clock. This car is a front-wheel drive option only. This Sorento has been my main transportation for the last 3 months, and I put roughly 2,000 miles on it. In general, I would say that 2024, this year, has been a surprise how much the Hyundai and Kia have to offer in the price tag segment. And I know before we go into the detailed review of this vehicle, there are scary stories of the engine issues of Hyundai and Kia. And I will go in depth over those issues in one of the upcoming videos next month. So stay tuned. I know it's not a high price tag luxury car that creates a lot of buzz and people are excited or flash or brag to each other. But to me, anytime I get behind the steering wheel of this Sorento, I have a great feeling. It's a good, solid car that gives me everything I need for work, pleasure, relaxation. It's quiet in here, comfortable, airy cabin, all of the controls where they need to be and how they need to be. It steers well. I'm an Audi guy. I do appreciate and like the Audi product, especially back from the 2004 until 2014. And a lot of what and how this car does reminds me of an Audi. So it's not only how it's looking, but also how it feels and how it makes me feel while I'm driving this. I never get tired of this. The fuel economy is excellent. Anything I touch is pleasing. The sound is good. Of the stereo system is standard. I got a good backup camera. I know the screen is small, but it's there and I can see well through it. It's not like an old pixelated Mercedes camera in the, let's say, 2014 Mercedes. I know it's better now, but for the price, again, for the price range where this Sorento lands, there is nothing even close to it. This is a mid-size SUV that was designed and built under a team of new engineers that Kia brought from the Audi. And that shows. Nice and smooth lines of the exterior, properly proportioned and balanced contour of the doors, glass, bumpers, front grille, rear bumper, head and tail lights. The same goes inside in the interior of the vehicle. Just like the exterior lines of this vehicle are balanced, proportioned and smooth, the same goes through the flow and architecture of the interior. There is no quirkiness or abstract going on here. Everything is conventional. This gear selector is located where it needs to be. The steering wheel is of a proper size and great to touch, good to handle the car through or with it. There are, in my opinion, Porsche-like, not execution, but the design and controls of the infotainment system and the cruise control on the steering wheel, your HVAC system and your infotainment is again conventional, intuitive. You got all the physical buttons to control everything you need in this car. The seats are comfortable. I've driven this car for probably five and a half hours straight. Did not get tired a bit. And I think it's not only the seats necessarily, but it's the whole package of what this Sorento has to offer. Quiet cabin, comfortable seats, soft touch everything, sound insulation, protective interior sort of. You do not have a lot of the glass exposure. Even this window is without a tint. Of course, the rear is with tint, but if you add tint, light tint to this, it would be very cozy in here. That's probably what it is. It's the balance of coziness yet spacious cabin that this Kia has. Oh, oops, I'm like, why is it just shit? Good amount of sound insulation combined with high quality materials such as the soft touch top of your dash, top of the doors, and even the middle section, which you do not see in this price segment of vehicles. This is sort of like luxury or premium cars only. And even these materials below at your knee level are not drum-like by touch or by sound. It's not that large of the vehicle, but when you travel, you feel like you are in the spacious interior with high quality materials. And overall, this ergonomics and what this Kia has to offer makes you drive this car more and more and come back to it with not necessarily excitement, but very good, comfortable feeling of owning something that is high quality, priced well, and will get the job done properly. I can't tell any negatives about how this Kia rides. Of course, you have to be within the means and the parameters of what this car has. You know, it's not that powerful. It's just over 160 some horsepower and about the same torque number. So it's not torquey, it's not that powerful, but from the get-go, with the way the transmission is tuned with the engine, it picks up and goes with not much of a struggle or drama. But where you gain is on the freeways. Benefits or pros to own one of the Sorentos. Number one is the quality of the build. All of the exterior and the interior panels are put together very well. And at 122,000 miles, this car still drives, feels, and looks pretty much like brand new. And by the way, sometimes I feel that the transmission is a bit late in the automatic mode, especially between like second and third gear. It's just holding sometimes longer than I think needed. So I'm at the pretty much pivot point, and it's 3,000 RPMs. Come on, shift, shift, shift. Well, you have to, a lot of the times have to shift between the second and third in the manual mode. Number two is the reliability. Again, at this mileage, there are absolutely zero issues with this Kia or any other of the five we had this year, Hyundai and Kia, with an exception of some warranty items. Benefit number three is the warranty. 10-year on the drivetrain comes as standard. It's the best on the market. And if Kia or Hyundai find some constructive issue, they would extend the warranty to cover those elements. For example, like with our Kia Sorento, which is the minivan with a 3.3 V6 engine, where the oil pressure sensor, or as they call it, for some reason, oil pressure switch, gives up and starts leaking oil heavily. Kia extended the warranty up to 15 years or 150,000 miles to replace that for you. It just drives very smoothly, and frankly, I told my son that the way this Kia drives is pretty much like driving an electric vehicle. That's how quiet it is here on freeways. Not too much of the road, wind, or engine noise. You can barely hear anything. And due to the way how good the cabin was built, of high quality, there are no squeaks, none of the panels are rattling, so you have this just continuous, smooth, quiet, solid ride. And on the freeways, with all of this, you get 31-ish mpg, which for an SUV of this size is unbeatable. And again, it's not super powerful, but I did everything that I needed. You can haul 7 passengers here, you can tow a small trailer, and yet when you get on the road, just you or you and the passenger, you could be like in the 30s mpg. What another vehicle can do all of that, and especially in this price range. Benefit number 4, I would list the ergonomics and what this vehicle has to offer. The cabin is very spacious for up to 7 people if it has 3 rows. Adults in the back, look how much space there is for my knees, plenty for my shoulders. Headroom is excellent. If you do not have the third row seat, the luggage area compartment is huge, and in my case with a multi-compartment organizer, which is a great benefit. I could also tow quite a bit with this Kia Sorento. 4,500 pound trailer, 5,300 pound trailer. 53 was an overkill, but it could still do it if needed. 45 was plenty of comfortable to do. When I tow, I usually switch this Sorento into the manual transmission mode, and that one is very responsive as well. It shifts quickly, and I can always hold the car where I need to be, like at the RPMs versus the power deliverance of the vehicle. It's not that torquey of the engine, but again, if you switch it into the manual mode, you can get done whatever needs to be done with it. Benefit number 5, which concludes all of the above in a nice summary, is the value. This SUV 2017 in year of 2024 would average you at about $8,500 to $9,000 on the used car market. And with capabilities and capacities of a larger than, let's say, Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4, which would average about $14,000 to $15,000, it has to offer the space, the room, the capacities of a larger SUV such as, let's say, Honda Pilot or Toyota Highlander, but at less than a half price of the Highlander and Pilot. What's there to think about? It's just simply unbeatable. There is nothing even close on the market. But even if we scratch the price range, I can't think of any other car that can do all of this. Probably the closest would be a Toyota Highlander, but Highlander would be in this configuration with this many miles and this year would be probably like more than twice of the price, and the depreciation is still going to be there. I know it's a Toyota, but in terms of the percentage, you will drop about the same as this Sorento, whereas Sorento you would be dropping of $8,500 start mark. But in terms of the Highlander, you'll drop more money, you'll lose more money. Just because you will be driving, the mileage will be going up and the money will be going through the window. I stick with the Sorento. Now let's talk about the cons of owning one of the Sorentos. They are not major, but they do exist. Number 1 would be depreciation, the new car depreciation. Not used, not pre-owned, but new car. In the first 3 to 5 years, this Kia would drop more in terms of the percentage compared to Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. My recommendation to you would be to buy one of these, no newer than 3 years old. The best spot would be 4 to 5 years old and at about 60,000 miles. You're still going to be covered under warranty for quite a bit, and you're getting quite a bit for your money. Issue number 2 is not necessarily an issue, but a caveat. You need to take care of this engine very well. Pay a close attention to it. It's a high compression engine in a lightweight block. Timely and quality oil changes are a must. In my case, I use synthetic oil, Castrol, and my intervals are no longer than 7,000 miles. About the gas quality. When I travel on the freeway, I do use mid-grade. In town, it's only highest octane I could purchase. It is a little bit more expensive in the short run, but as we know, it adds up, you get better MPG, and definitely the engine is feeling better. You need to avoid the earlier or premature detonation. And if you're shopping for one of these, make sure that number 1, the maintenance records do show that the car was serviced regularly. And number 2, on the test drive, especially when the car is closer to a 100,000 mile edge on the clock, that there is no premature detonation or pinning, and the power deliverance is smooth and continuous at all RPMs. In conclusion, if you would be able to navigate through the couple cons I just mentioned to you, and I think you agree they're very minor, you would have an absolutely unbeatable vehicle for any of your transportation needs: work, commute, or travel. And if you buy it right on the used car market, you would be driving in the quality of an Audi with a fuel economy of Toyota Corolla and a price tag of Volkswagen Jetta. The decision is yours. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you like the car or you have any other comments or concerns, drop them in the comment section. Drop a comment in general. I would appreciate, and people after you reading would appreciate it as well. Just spread a good word. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again. Bye bye.